Who are you, man? Some bitter ex-high school player? Never really made it? You sit around watching sports, criticizing professional athletes because you wish it was you out there?
You are so far off. It's sad.
Celtic Pride is a 1996 sports comedy film directed by Tom DiCerchio that would find tepid success but would gain a slight following as a 1990s cult classic. In Boston, Massachusetts, physical education gym teacher Mike O'Hara, played by Daniel Stern, and plumber Jimmy Flaherty, played by Dan Aykroyd, are two longtime best friends who both have a massive love for the Boston Celtics basketball team.
My Celtics are playing a very important basketball game tonight, and I really want them to win.
It's like you say, the most important thing is that they tried their hardest and they have fun.
No.
The Celtics, who are playing their last season in the old Boston Garden Arena, are in the NBA Finals against the Utah Jazz. The stress takes a toll on both men, with Mike's wife Carol, played by Gail O'Grady, asking for a divorce.
I won't let the Celtics run my life.
Well, how do you think I feel?
Mike, these are divorce papers. And the only reason I haven't signed them is because I feel bad for you. I spoke with my therapist about this, and I know that part of this obsession comes from the fact that you never made it as a basketball player. Your dream died, and now you're living through the Celtics. It is time to move on.
My dream is dead.
Mike.
Thank you for the update, honey.
Screw you.
The star player of the Utah Jazz and one of the most valuable players in the NBA is shooting guard Lewis Scott, played by Damon Wayans.
I'm sorry, okay? I'm sorry. I guess I've been having back problems from carrying a sorry excuse for a team all season long.
Oh, Jesus, talk about your textbook a-hole.
Man, blaming the team, right?
Scott is arrogant and selfish, feeling as though he carries the entire team, stressing out Utah coach Kimball, played by Christopher McDonald.
Hey, Coach Kimball! You better do what Lewis Scott says, because he owns your ass! Why don't you shut up? Why don't you learn to coach?
The Utah Jazz narrowly defeat the Boston Celtics in Game 6 of the NBA Finals, setting up a final decisive Game 7 in 2 days at the old Boston Garden for the final time. Mike and Jimmy find themselves depressed, and they stumble on Lewis Scott at a Boston nightclub. The two decide to try and get Scott drunk so that he will be hung over for practice the following day.
You're nothing but a selfish bull.
Hey, all around, hey! The reason why he is a selfish ball hog is because he is the greatest player in the NBA.
I appreciate that, man. It takes a lot of courage to speak the truth in this town.
He wouldn't have said anything if he didn't mean it.
Mike and Jimmy pose as Utah fans, impressing Scott while angering their true idol, former Boston Celtic Larry Bird.
Two white Irish guys who hate the Celtics. Ain't that right, guys?
You guys should learn a little something about loyalty. Fans like these, you can have.
Their plan succeeds, and the two get absolutely smashed with Scott.
You hear that, Boston? I'm gonna kick your ass!
However, in the morning, they find themselves at Jimmy's apartment and realize they have kidnapped Lewis Scott.
Oh, God! Jimmy! Lewis Scott's in the bed.
We kidnapped him. I did not kidnap anybody.
The shooting guard for the Utah Jazz is duct taped in my bed. I don't think he did it himself.
Mike speaks to friend and fellow Celtic fan Boston police officer Kevin O'Grady, played by Paul Guilfoyle.
Somebody should grab Lewis Scott, tie him up, and hold him until after we finish that game tomorrow. Say somebody grabbed him yesterday, and they let go of him today.
No, kidnapping is kidnapping. It doesn't matter if it's 1 day or 3 days or whatever. I mean, you kidnap a guy, you kidnap a guy. You know what I mean?
No, we're just joking around anyway. I mean, we're not talking about a crime here or anything, are we?
No.
Realizing that they are both already in big trouble, the two men decide that if they hold on to Scott until after the following day's game, they could help the Boston Celtics win the championship.
Maybe we can win that championship.
Yeah, but it wouldn't be a fair win now, would it? There'd always be an asterisk next to it in the record book.
Yeah, but it would have our names next to it.
What kind of loser would want to be an asterisk?
I would very much like to be one.
Let's lead our Celtics to victory.
Scott laments his frustration and says that Mike and Jimmy are just washed-up losers angry at his fame. He also tries playing mind games with Jimmy.
You think Larry Bird has a picture of you on his wall with your hand down a toilet, wrangling a turd? He doesn't even know you exist. And you met him. You might as well take that gun and just put it in your mouth and blow your brains out. Go ahead, I know you thought about it.
Stifle it, Scott.
Hilarity ensues.
Excuse me, gym teacher? May I use the bathroom?
Oh, yeah, right.
What do you think, I wore a pamper here?
All right, fine. There's bars on the windows. And if you try anything, or he's gonna start blowing holes through this door until you're dead. You got it?
That's me, John Dillinger.
Relax. I'm just gonna pee. Hey, Jimmy, you wanna help me uncoil it?
Carol shows up at Jimmy's apartment along with she and Mike's son Tommy, played by Adam Hendershot. Mike swears he will change, but Carol seems skeptical, especially when she stumbles upon Scott.
You're Louis Scott. Who is Louis Scott?
Who is Louis? Are you kidding me? You know, that is exactly what is wrong with our relationship. I go and kidnap the greatest player in the NBA, and you don't even know who he is!
Louis tries to escape, but finds Officer O'Grady all too happy to look the other way and make his own bets on Game 7. Mike confronts Scott about his behavior on and off of the court.
Look, you don't want to go to jail. Come on, Mike, you got a wife and a kid. Jesus, Jimmy, you got Mike, and he's got a wife and a kid. Please, guys, don't take this from me.
You don't deserve it.
What, and you do?
You're damn right I do. At least I'd appreciate it. I would cherish every minute of every game. I wouldn't be late for practice. I wouldn't be ragging on my teammates. I would work harder than anybody.
Despite the kidnapping, the three begin to have open and honest discussions.
Cough it up, man. We want the detail.
You know the Budweiser ad, girl?
No.
Been there, done that. Hey, I bet you guys couldn't get past first base with the Budweiser frog.
Well, that would depend on how drunk I got it.
And I've been with 2 women in my whole life. That's 2 more than Jimmy.
That's true. That's true.
Some scenes of this movie were shot inside the Boston Garden just before it was scheduled for demolition in the summer of 1995, as the Fleet Center was scheduled to open in September of that year. The character of Louis Scott is supposed to be a takeoff on Michael Jordan, and he emulates him on the court in some ways that he handles the ball and plays the game. By the time this film came out theatrically in April 1996, Gail O'Grady had just left the hit ABC television series NYPD Blue after 3 seasons in hopes of starting a movie career, much like actor David Caruso had done in 1994, leaving that show after just a season and a half. At the end of the movie, Mike and Jimmy are sneaking into a house occupied by Deion Sanders in an effort to aid the New England Patriots football team. The motivation for this would be specifically if the Patriots were in contention for the division title. While Deion Sanders played for the Dallas Cowboys in the 1996 season, a team that is not in the same division as the Patriots, if they had won their game against the Cowboys that year, they would have clinched the playoff spot earlier. Funny enough, the Patriots lost to the Cowboys in 1996. This movie was not a major success, despite its star power, grossing only $9.2 million at the box office. I first saw this movie when I was spending the night with a girl in 2009. She liked to sleep with the television on as background noise, which I also like to do, and I believe this film came on AMC. I noticed that it looked interesting, so shortly after I wound up watching it myself, and I came away impressed. Movies like this are so great compared to many movies that would be released during the first quarter of the 21st century, but back in 1996, we took films like this for granted. Damon Wayans, Stern and Dan Aykroyd, come on. You don't have to be a complete sports nut to get into the plot. As the decades passed after this movie's release, it did take on a small cult following as a real forgotten comedy gem of the mid-1990s.
All right, you pump, I'll pay. And you waiting there.
I hope you die!
I like this movie, and I will give a solid 8 out of 10 stars to the 1996 sports comedy film Celtic Pride.